justice. There's always right now.
She's good.
The critically acclaimed film, The Great Debaters, is galvanizing student debaters all over the city.
It was like really an inspiration to me and my teammates.
I just thought to myself that they never gave up. Even though it got really hard, they kept going and kept going forward.
But far from the silver screen, these real-world debaters are tapping into the power of debate right here in Chicago.
The number one thing that you learn from debate is critical thinking. You learn how to analyze what other people are saying.
Once again, with abortion.
When I argue with my friends now, when I get into discussions on anything, I tend to get A, really in depth, and B, I tend to manage to win those debates.
Usually I wouldn't talk to anybody. I would stay in my own little corner, and now I'm really social. I'm a little social butterfly.
I think it's just fantastic that they're utilizing their energy in such a positive way. They're increasing their analytical skills, expanding their mind.
At the root, what they're doing is they're learning logic, which is extremely important.
And when we give students these crucial academic skills and we show them the fun of it changes lives.
Welcome to a place where CPS students find their voice through forensics, the Chicago Debate League.
Gentlemen and lady, debate is combat, but your weapons are words.
Student debate may be in the limelight now, but it's been at the center of high school academics in Chicago for over 10 years. In fact, there are over 800 CPS debaters. The Chicago Debate League's mission? To give all students in all schools the opportunity to participate. And it's working.
The Chicago Debate League is the largest urban debate league in the country. It's now in its 11th year. It began with 5 schools, 5 high schools. It is now at 38 high schools and 6 middle schools.
The great thing about debate, it's not your A student. It's all children that are included. It's a very inclusive program. What you find is that there's less fighting, there's less violence in the school climate. They become more of a team. We had one student, when he began debate as a freshman, he was really difficult to deal with, kind of on his own agenda, didn't follow rules, thought he knew everything, which most kids think they know everything. They think they're smarter than their parents. But after a few years of debate, after the first year of debate, it really changed his thinking. It changed his character. He became more of a team player. And now he's one of the top debaters in the nation.
We already took out the terrorism by saying we are taking out an imperialistic ideal. So no matter what.
So you have to be prepared to say both sides of an argument and say them like you believe both sides, even though you may think one side is idiotic. You have to be able to argue it anyway, which can help you in politics when you have to argue something that you don't necessarily personally agree with.
Arguing on both sides of a debate is hard to do the first time you do it, but you just get used to it to the point that you're not offended when someone says something that you really feel strongly about.
They claim that our argument is power tagged, and yet...
it improves their literacy skills. It improves their self-confidence. It builds their character, builds their team-building skills. Academically, it's fantastic, but also it just enhances the whole child.
Research shows that student debaters have a 10% increase in their grade point average per year, a 100% high school graduation rate, and about 85% go on to college. But it's not all work and no play.
It's fun. It allows you to be creative and think about the world you live in more ways than you do in school. Like in school, normally we're tied to focusing on Europe and America. We don't look at the whole world, but in debate we really look at areas that we don't normally in school, and I really like that.
And we mean by giving funding to NGOs that essentially increases the public health assistance to governments in sub-Saharan Africa. Public health assistance...
it's almost like speed reading, just to get the point across. What's so funny is that the students actually understand each other, but if someone else was in the room, you probably would not understand exactly what they were saying unless you were a debater.
The first time I walked into a debate round and watched this style of debate, it was as if I had walked into an absurdist play or something, because the visual and auditory effect of these kids reading a mile a minute about theories and policies that most people don't understand is extremely surprising at first. But at the root, what they're doing is they're learning logic, which is extremely important.
The best debaters in policy debate, even though they're speaking very quickly, they've learned to enunciate very clearly in a way that you can still follow, and the argument should follow a certain logic. But as they're learning, there's a lot of those skills that they need to master in the process.
Some people can be unclear, and that's annoying, and you have to find a way around that. However, it's fun, to try to throw out as many arguments as you can in the least amount of time.
We're debating about stuff that's happening in Congress. Like, if you think about it, we're debating about the same stuff that could change, the world and what's going on right now.
But the paradigm is corrupt.
I feel immensely proud when I see them up there, because what you get to see is students who have read up on issues that have very little to do with their daily lives, but they care passionately about them by the time that they're done reading these documents. And when they stand up and they make these speeches, you can see that these issues now matter to them.
There's a number of benefits about learning debate. I learned about things that I didn't even know existed, and I learned how to read certain articles and pick out what's best and what's most important about them. And I learned about why policies exist or why the government acts a certain way.
People who play sports, they may be physically tired after they play sports. It's nothing compared to debate, because when you're done with debate, you're mentally tired. Like, you can barely think.
I want you to try out for the debate team.
You sure you want somebody like me?
No. That's why you're trying out.
The film The Great Debaters is also helping students to believe in their talent.
And a lot of people at our school want to be in debate now because they saw the movie when it came out, and I think that kind of changed their mind about it. Like, they thought, oh no, only nerds are in debate. But now they're kind of changing and saying, well, maybe it is kind of cool, let me try it out.
Sometimes my team, gets feeling, oh, we're gonna lose, and I'm like, no, keep going. And now my team is working a lot harder at it because of the movie.
I really hope that by being involved in debate and learning about world issues, that we're creating or helping to move our students towards being global citizens, active global citizens, where they are concerned about issues around the world and that they become actively involved in those issues in their lives.
I truly believe that debate transforms lives.
I hope to follow through with debate, and I want to graduate from Harvard. So if I keep my grades right or whatever, I can do that and my life will be successful.